minutes past 8 o'clock. William Teresi in the chair with you through until 9 a.m. this morning, broadcasting live from Rarotonga. It is great to have your company. Thank you very much for joining us this Friday, and welcome to the 1st of August as well. Now, Tongan lawyer Mataiasi To'ofohe joins us this morning to discuss the importance of wills, what they cover, and why families should start thinking about them early. A very important talanoa worth having as well, but perhaps a conversation that we don't have often enough. Joins me now, Maluelele. Thank you very much for your time.
Maluelele, kia ora, William. Thank you for your time.
Let's start with the basics. What exactly is a will?
So a will is a formal document that when someone passes away, it outlines the wishes of that person in terms of how they would like to divide their assets. So when we talk about assets, we talk about houses, we talk about cars, we talk about their KiwiSaver, their bank accounts, anything that that person owns is what will be distributed in terms of how they would like to pass it on to their named beneficiary. So a beneficiary could be a person or an organization too. So, yeah.
I see. Okay. And so why is having a will so important? Especially for our Pacific families, perhaps.
Yeah. So I work in Mangere Bridge at a law firm there called Mason and Mortimer Lawyers, and a lot of our people do come in, and some of them come in because the person has died without a will, and that adds more emotional stress, more financial burden on your loved ones in terms of how you want to distribute the will. So if you die without a will, there's a very long process for us to try and apply to the High Court for letters of administration. And there's if you die and you have a spouse who's still alive, it's a bit easier in terms of who should be the person who will carry out the wishes of that of the person who's passed away. But in cases that I've seen recently with just the children are involved, there could be some issues. There are some tensions in terms of who should be the one distributing the assets, and it's always important to have a will. So that's why I'm here today, to try and enforce that idea and allow people to understand that you have to have a will, and at least whoever will be your nominated executor will be the person who will follow your wishes. So if you have 5 kids, for example, and one child is not there to assist you or hasn't been in the picture for a long time, but you'd like to divide up your estate or your assets to those people, to the other 4, you can do that. But then there are other issues and implications. But if you have a will in place, it just allows for a very seamless approach in terms of how your wishes should be followed. So that's why it's important to have a will.
Yeah, and I suppose, as you've highlighted, it can lead to issues if you don't have one, etc. But what are some common kind of misunderstandings families might have about wills or inheritance? I was having this discussion with some family members, and there's this thing of, what do we need a will for? We trust each other. But I mean, when it really boils down to it, sometimes it can get a bit conflicted and heated, can't it?
Yeah, I agree. And as I advise my clients as they come in, yes, you can be looking at your family and your siblings, that you all grew up together. Your parents instilled love and respect and everything. But I like to tell my clients that we're in New Zealand. We're not in the islands where we can do whatever we want. In New Zealand, there are set rules and laws that we have to abide by. So if we can have a will in place, and if it's your father, for example, and he wants to distribute how he would like to distribute his estate, and then he can just write exactly his wishes. And the person who is nominated as the executor, all they have to do is follow those set of wishes in the will. So, and then there will be some circumstances where people could say that their father had promised them the house that they have in Rarotonga, for example, when in the will, it says specifically that he would like to leave everything equally between his 5 kids. So there are those conflicts, and if we have a will in place and it's a written will, it's signed by 2 witnesses, and the person creating the will is of sound mind and of free will, then we have a valid will.
Yeah,
That's why it's very
I
important.
see. And look, again, why do you think so many people, perhaps our Pacific people particularly, don't have wills? Is it fear? Is it cost? Or just frankly not knowing?
I think it's a mix of factors. So you have people not knowing. It could also be the idea that cost could be a major factor. In addition to that, I feel like a lot of my family members are very uncomfortable with the concept of death and feeling uncomfortable to speak about what they want to do with their, say, three houses that they have. And they would rather just um, cover it, bury it, and not talk about it or think about it until whatever happens and they pass away. And then it's left up to either their spouse or their children to pick up the pieces to try and sort everything out and um, have it so it distributes evenly across the beneficiaries. So when I mean beneficiaries, it could be the spouse who's still alive, it could be children, it could be nieces and nephews that you appreciate, like that have done a lot for you. It could be charities, it could be other organizations or businesses. So um, in New Zealand, it's just they are very like particular in terms of how we would like to distribute someone's estate. So um,
Mm.
I tell my clients you just have to be um, ready and comfortable and just think of it that if you pass away, then it's left up to your family to try and organize and everything in terms of financial stress, emotional. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's like in my opinion, I think it's just easier to have a will and you can always come and talk to like I know these like community law centers as well who can assist, but um, we are here willing to help you.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Okay, and with all of that in mind, I suppose what can be done to make wills more accessible to our communities? I'm thinking of for our elders or those with
Mm.
language barriers.
Yeah, um, I think that's why I um, reached out so I can at least begin on this platform, just to at least talk to people and let them understand that um, as a lawyer, our role and obligations are to help our clients. So when you do come in and you see people like me, and you sign on that dotted paper, I become your basically your best friend. So I'll look out for your interests and help you. And in terms of language barriers, I'm very grateful that I can speak Tongan. And most recently, a majority of the clients that I have seen come into where I am in Mangere Bridge are Tongan clients. And it makes my job easier and it makes the job for the other person who's coming to do a will or any other important document like a enduring power of attorney. It makes my job easier in terms of advising them to understand clearly what we're trying to do for them. So I always try and do my best to assist our people. And when I see a Tongan elderly couple, I just think of my own grandparents and I put myself in their shoes and just explain to them that we have like certain like here's the time if you'd like to come have a consult with me, probably 15 to 30 minutes, and we can talk and see from there in terms of what you want to do in relation to your will or any other important document like the enduring power of attorney as well. So yeah.
Mm. And finally, are there free or low cost legal services that can help Pacific families with this that you're aware of?
I'm aware of the law centers around the community are quite good as well. But the firm that I work at in Mangere Bridge, we also offer just like 15, 30 minutes consult where we can talk about what we can do moving forward. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out and then we can book in a time for you to come, or even I can just call you and talk about what you would like to do in particular about your will. So yeah, it's very important.
Awesome. Yeah, certainly is. And thank you for highlighting the reasons of why a will is so important. Like I said, it's a conversation that perhaps we need to have more of as Pacific people. I certainly need to have that chat with my own family because it's that trust thing, I think, where we were like, oh,
Yeah.
it's all good. But as you highlighted, we're not in the islands, where in New Zealand, where there are different rules. Thank you very much. That is Tongan lawyer Mataiasi To'ofohe. Thank you very much. You have a lovely weekend when you get to it.
Thank you, William. Likewise, have a great day.